Now we will answer the question number 5. In this question, we will be calculating WACC. So far, we have learned how to calculate the cost of equity, how to calculate the cost of debt, how to calculate the weight for debt and equity and other shares. So now we're gonna calculate WACC by putting everything together. So this is a very important question. So if you do not know either of them, let's say if you do not know how to calculate the cost of equity or cost of debt or cost of preference shares, then you won't be able to answer this question. So you need to pay attention very carefully. The question is that the corporation has 10,000 bonds outstanding with a 6% annual coupon rate, 8 years to maturity and $1,000 face value, and a $1,100 of market price. Now, the company's 100,000 shares of preferred stock pays a $3 annual dividend and sell for $30 per share. The company's 500,000 shares of common stock sell for $25 per share, and the stock has a beta of 1.5. The risk-free rate is 4%, and the market return is 12%. Now, assuming a 40% tax rate, what is the company's WACC? So let's first remember, how does the WACC formula look like? So this is the WACC formula. So here, this is the weight for equity, weight for preference share, weight for debt. This is the return for equity, return for preferred share, and return for the debt. This is 1 minus T means 1 minus the tax rate. Now, if we first need to calculate the weight for each one, weight for equity, weight for preference share, and weight for debt. Once we get everything, then we can just calculate the cost for equity, preference share, and debt, and plug those numbers in. We'll get the answer. So let's see how to do that. So let's find the weight first. So firstly, we will be calculating the market value for the debt. So market value for the debt is simply number of bonds times price per bond. So if you plug those numbers in from the question, you will get in the question it says that total number of bonds is 10,000 and the price per bond is 1,100. So if you just multiply them together, you will get $11 million of the market value of the debt. And now we need to calculate the market value of the preference share. So if you it's just simply same number of shares times the price per share. So in the question it says that 100,000 total of 100,000 preference shares issued in the market, and the price per share is $30. So if you multiply them together, you will get the total market value of $3 million. Now we will calculate the market value for common stock. So the common stock is same equation, that number of shares times the price per share. If you just put those numbers in the question, it says total of 500,000 shares, and each share costs $25. So if you multiply them together, you will get $12,500,000. Now, in order to calculate the weight for each one, all you need to do is add these three together: 11 million, 3 million, and 12.5 million. If you add them together, you get this $26.5 million. Now it's very easy to calculate. It's very simple. So this 26.5 million is the total market value. So the weight for debt is simply 11 million divided by this 26.5 million. So 11 million divided by 26.5, you will get this one. And then if you follow for the other preference shares and the common shares, you will get this result. So now we got the weight for the debt, preferred share, and equity, and the common equity. Now we need to calculate the cost for each one. So the cost of debt is simply this. You need to find the YTM. So if you calculate it, you need to calculate the IY. So YTM is 8%. If you plug those numbers in the calculator, you will get this number. Now, cost of preferred share is simply the dividend over the price. So in our case, that is 3/30. So the cost of preferred share is 10%, and the cost of common stock is this, because we will be using the CAPM model, because in the question gives the information for the CAPM model only. So we will be using this equation. I have explained this earlier. So if you plug those numbers in here, you get total of 16% of cost of common equity. So now it is time to calculate the WACC. WACC is this, where WD is the rate of debt, return for debt, 1 minus T means the tax rate, plus weight for preference share and the cost of preference share, weight for equity, and cost for equity or the return for equity. If you plug all these numbers in here, you will get total of 9.79%. So that's the WACC for the company. Thank you.